So as you can see, this place flooded, and lo and behold, it was the air conditioner. Went halfway across the house, and so now we're missing floors and walls. The unit was about a decade old, so it's about time it was replaced anyway. So we got Donovan out. What's up, Steve?
Hey man, how's it going? Good to see you, Brent.
Yeah, man, good to see you. So we got Donovan out to get this thing replaced, and the first step obviously is making sure that it doesn't flood again.
That's
so
right.
When you guys put that new unit in, what are you doing to prevent that?
Well, first and foremost, the unit was going to be sitting in a new auxiliary drain pan, and then we're going to have a nice float switch in there. And that float switch is kind of acts like a little bobber. So when there's water that gets in the pan, turns off the unit, and then everything shuts down, preventing a flood from occurring again.
Nice. So you put one in the pan.
Yep.
And
we also add one on the drain line and on the secondary port, and that's required by code.
Oh my gosh.
3 safety devices.
Yeah, so you got fail safes everywhere.
Correct. It's always good to have redundancies when it comes to safety.
Yeah, that's awesome. I noticed this is new ductwork.
Correct.
Right? And we got all new ductwork going between the floors.
Yeah.
We got new ductwork going into the spray foam attic.
That's right.
So tell me about this. What was the deal with getting new ductwork in here?
Whenever the flood happened, we removed the equipment, and we had noticed that there was some mold inside the ductwork. And since we were already having to pull the equipment out to take care of the remediation process, we felt like it was best to go ahead and take that opportunity and get the ductwork replaced. We were also wanted to be mindful that of this client, they had some chemical sensitivities, so we also used formaldehyde-free ductboard.
That formaldehyde-free ductboard is pretty expensive, and it's also hard to get.
We keep that stuff in stock for people that need it the most.
That's great to hear. So as far as air quality, I know that this particular family, they're all sleeping in the same bedroom.
Yeah.
You got like 5 people and a dog and a cat. So what do we do about like circulation and making sure that they're getting enough fresh air in there when they're all in one room?
We're installing a dehumidifier in the attic above here. And then with that dehumidifier, we're gonna be bringing in outside air so that we can provide some extra ventilation to these closed compartments that have a lot of people in them, to help lower the CO2 in that compartment so people can sleep and breathe better.
So you got some fresh air going in there. It's
Correct.
going through a dehumidifier, which is obviously very important in Florida.
Yes, to dry the air before we bring it into the home.
And what kind of filter is on that?
It's a MERV 13 air filter.
Nice. So it's a pretty high quality filter, and then that goes into the unit. And then you guys are upgrading the filter on the unit too, right?
We are, yeah. We're using an April Air product. This particular model is going to have a MERV 13 air filter that is completely removable. Put a brand new one in every 6 months to 8 months, just depending on how dirty it gets.
Easier maintenance for the homeowner.
Much easier, yes.
That's awesome.
Less required changing out.
Are you guys doing any design changes with the ductwork, or just going right back in?
Yeah, so a couple improvements that we're making. We're adding a return to the second floor master suite. That's actually a direct return coming right down to the bottom of the unit. That'll be connecting to the air handler. And then we added a new largely sized pass-through return grill that's going to be able to grab these rooms in the common area.
Nice.
We're standing in.
So now they have a return. They didn't have a return before.
No, they didn't.
So they got better circulation. That'll also help if they're all in there sleeping to get better circulation.
Yep.
And then this thing's bigger. So now we can bring in more air and the unit's running more energy efficient.
Correct.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm going to let you guys keep doing your thing, and then I'll come back and check on it in a minute.
All right, sounds good, right?
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
What's up, brother?
Oh, hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. Yes, sir.
So you're all done here.
We are. We just got done completing the install of the whole new AC system.
Nice. So I see that you got some probes in here. What are you checking?
Yeah. So we're checking the delta T, which is simply the change in temperature between the return, what the unit's sucking in, to what the unit's putting out here at the top, and we're looking for 20-degree temperature between the two measurements.
Okay, cool. So if it's going in at 75, it needs to be coming out around 55.
Correct. Yeah.
Nice. And then when you're testing the system, are you doing anything outside too?
Oh yeah. So we check there's a couple measurements that we check. That's the head pressure, the suction pressure, along with the liquid line temperature, the suction line temperature, and we want to check the superheating and subcooling of the unit to make sure everything's well within the manufacturer specifications for this unit.
Gotcha. So you're doing all these diagnostics, you're checking the manufacturer's specs, making sure that it aligns with what they want.
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, we want to make sure that it's cooling properly. I know that's important for the customer.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
And, you'd be surprised how many people actually aren't testing this stuff after they install it. They just install it and go home. So I love seeing you guys do that. And speaking of other things that are important for customers, not just the temperature, but the flood that happened, right? So now they want to make sure this doesn't happen again. You mentioned some float switches, and I'm seeing them all over the place. So how many float switches do you have on this thing?
Yeah, so here at this air handler, we have in collective about 6 float switches down here at the air handler. In every single way possible, this unit could back up or overflow, or the drain pipe clog, or if a fitting gets clogged, or something breaks and something leaks into a pan. We're protected in every single way possible for any flood that could ever potentially happen in the future.
That's awesome. And I noticed too that you got a couple on the dehumidifier upstairs too.
We do, yep, including a auxiliary drain pan that sits beneath the dehumidifier that's located in the attic. There's a float switch that goes inside the pan, and there's also several other redundancy float switches that are on the drain line itself coming from.
That's awesome. So that way we don't have to worry about that thing leaking into the attic, causing some ceiling stains and mold.
Absolutely.
That's great. And I also notice here, you got a floor alarm.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys, it's not going to happen again.
That's right. And
that's awesome.
And that notifies the homeowner right away if there's ever some water that gets into that pan.
That's great, man. I love it. So I know the customer wanted to keep the same thermostat, but is there anything different on it they should know about?
No, the experience is essentially the same. But what they will notice now is that there's going to be a stage 1 and a stage 2 displayed on the thermostat in the cooling mode.
That's because you got a multi-stage system now. So why do you guys prefer multi-stage systems for Florida?
Well, here in Florida, we have what we call the shoulder season. And the outdoor temperature starts to drop outside as we go into the mid to late fall. And but there's still moisture present. So it's nice to have a machine that's able to run down at a slower speed so that we can get more runtime during the cooler months to help remove that moisture as a byproduct of the air conditioning cycle.
Yeah, and one of the things I see people get confused on is they think the fan is actually changing the speed and that's making all the difference. But really it's the outdoor unit changing how much it's compressing the refrigerant to make the whole system basically act like it's a lower tonnage.
Correct.
So you get that runtime. That's great. And then of course you guys installed the Santa Fe system. Now I set this up for the customer, and I wanted to set it up very specifically based on what they told us. So I appreciate you guys installing it and making it easy for me. All I had to do was just push some buttons.
Of course.
But what I love about the Ultra Air controller is that we're actually able to dial in when we want fresh air and how much we want. So during the day, there's really no one in the bedrooms, right? And so we really only have 5 minutes that it's open for fresh air, and then the other 55 minutes in the hour, it's closed.
Yeah.
But at night, we switched it. So at 7:30 p.m., it switches to where now it's actually running 30 minutes for fresh air and then 30 minutes without. And that way you're not getting all that wasted energy, bringing in that hot Florida air for no reason, drying it for no reason. But at night when all the kids are sleeping and they're all in the same room, they get that extra fresh air. So I think that they're actually going to love this. I've been monitoring it. So I have a monitor here seeing what the carbon dioxide levels, temperature, humidity, dew point, all those things are as we're checking it. So I think when this is all said and done, the customers are going to be super duper happy.
That's excellent.
So, yeah, man, thank you so much for coming out. Thanks for installing this for us. I appreciate it.
Of course.